Hello and welcome to Goldenrod Radio broadcast number 4. I am your host, Jellysound. With me is GMHamilton, and off-site is ThatsaplusONE, also known as iShine on Twitch. Welcome.
Thanks.
It's going.
Alright, so we'll start with some announcements. Let's start with our sort of website forum group gaming place, Maximum Impulse. Make the logo real big. Philip, you want to talk about that a bit?
Yeah, I can talk about it real quick. I just want to say that your voice is a little bit like grainy. I don't know how it was different from the preview. That's all. Anyways, yeah, I want to talk about Maximum Impulse. Our website just went up last week, so we've had it up for about a week. What we're going to be putting up there are articles for Pokemon of the Week, like a more detailed, in-depth version than what we normally do on the radio broadcast. We're known as stats, movesets, more in-depth stuff. Other things we're going to have on there is all our other games we have on the team. We have League of Legends, we're starting to do Super Smash Brothers, and for each game has professional teams, and there's also forums you can post. It's a whole community. It's kind of like, there's nothing setting it apart from like Smogon or other places, but it's just a community.
Right on. And there's already a couple articles up there from stuff that we've talked about up here, right? On Goldenrod Radio.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've got an article on Mega Absol
both
and...
the Pokemon of the Weeks are up there. Yeah, both the Pokemon of the Weeks are up there, and what is it? I have information on VGC formats, like rules, dates, locations. We're also going to be having up, I know Patrick is writing up the item list for competitive items and doubles. So we're going to have a bunch of just things to help newer players learn how to play.
Yep, so I'm looking forward to that.
Right on.
Alright, what else we got?
Another news item, VGC Virginia just happened.
Yeah, the regional VGC competition in Virginia was Sunday, and some of the results were posted on Nugget Bridge. I'm gonna put a link in the chat, and what we learned for the live competition feature on X and Y is that the Versus Recorder is disabled. So it looks like we're not going to be able to see any replays of those matches. So I don't know. Anything?
Yeah. I also don't think you're allowed to like bring a camera. So it's not like you can just post a camera up and record your stuff there.
Right.
They're actually like really against a lot of you're not even allowed to technically use like headphones at those type of events.
You can still write down like their team preview, right?
Yeah, you can use a notebook and write whatever you want in the notebook, but you're not even allowed to use headphones. I had headphones plugged into my DS, and they were like, so you need to remove your headphones. And I was like, what? They're plugged in my DS. I don't want my opponent to know when I'm like switching, because I like to play with my sound on.
Well, I guess the safer thing would just be to turn your sound off when you're playing though, huh?
No. They were fine with it, but I like playing with the sound on.
Okay, that's fair enough. So it's going to be harder to get our replays up on the site and for the podcast as well if they won't let us record anything. But we'll find a way.
We'll find a way to give some analysis, writing down teams from Team Preview, what their movesets are that we can grasp.
Yeah, we'll be able to do a lot of stuff. I think Sigurd said he's going to run around with like an actual video camera and just tape over the event. So we'll be able to, out of all of our notes together, we'll generally be able to accurately assess what is good and what's not good. So we'll talk about all the popular megas, all the popular other stuff. Don't know. We'll know what's good. We have like 10 people taking notes.
Yeah. We have a lot of information gatherers. Hopefully we can provide lots of good stuff. Alright, we had something else to talk about?
Well, I think that's it for the announcement part.
For the VGC Virginia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you had something else to talk about, maybe the standings or anybody notable.
Yeah, the standings were put up on the Nugget Bridge. Did you already say that Ray Rizzo won the event?
We did not.
So yeah, Ray Rizzo, probably one of the top 2 or 3 best peak players in the world. He's won Worlds a couple years in a row, and he actually won the regional. He actually hasn't had to try to win a regional since like 2010, I believe. So it's really cool to see him like doing really well in X and Y. It's really good to see a bunch of the old regime coming back. Also, Wolf placed 5th. It kind of sucks, which means I think what happened was the standings say 5th, but that just means like he didn't make top 4, and so they just put him at 5th. Because they don't like top 8 doesn't really play to see their standings.
Yeah, it's they do rounds of Swiss, and then you get what you get at the end based on your score.
Yeah. Well, it's a round of Swiss, and then there's the top like 8, and then the top 4. He lost in a round of 8. Sigurd's on the stream. I see him. He's green. Sigurd, is it laggy?
We can add him into the call. Can't we?
Not a video call. We'd have to switch over to.
Just add him as a voice.
We don't have...
Can't we? Or can we?
We can't. You can't add single voice.
I don't think we can.
Okay.
Because we'd lose both the webcams, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Well, Broducer can participate from chat, maybe.
Yeah. 40 seconds. 40 seconds away. He's really feeling the epistemic distance.
That's okay,
Dude,
then.
I believe.
It'll be okay. And for that...
The chat stream... Go ahead.
I was going to change the subject, but...
Go ahead.
For the VGC Virginia, hopefully they said on Nugget Bridge that we'd be getting more information about what kind of teams we're seeing as the week goes on. So...
That'd definitely help.
Yeah. That'll be very helpful to see what happened there.
Yep, it'd be interesting to compare what they report on who was actually at a regional VGC versus what we've been seeing if you're doing special battles.
Yeah. Another thing I think is funny, like, I know for like our local tournaments, I always bring a team that's made to like beat our local, but I tried playing on Showdown today with like teams I would bring to beat our local, and like I was winning, but it was so much harder.
What made it
like
harder?
The Pokemon's out.
Yeah.
No, it's just like, you know how I normally bring Scizor and Azumarill in all my singles teams?
Sure.
Like, the only reason why I do that is because I don't have the stuff I really want.
Okay, well we can talk about...
But it works out.
We can talk about that a little bit more in a bit. Let's get into the Pokemon of the week this week, which is...
Alright.
The Pokemon of the week this week.
Go ahead.
Mega Manectric.
Go. Mega Manectric is Pokemon of the week. A lot like 2 weeks ago. It's a lot like Mega Absol, except for this one's not a gimmick. It's actually just really good, even though you know it's gonna happen. While it doesn't have like the Stab Dark Pulse, it still gets a Fire move, it still gets an Electric move, and it still gets an Ice move. It gets Flamethrower, Overheat, Thunderbolt or Volt Switch, or Thunder if you're like weird, and Hidden Power Ice. Now it's a lot stronger and faster than Mega Absol, and its ability is Intimidate. And what makes Mega Manectric really good is its Intimidate doesn't happen until it Mega Evolves. So like let's say you send your Mega Manectric out, and you're fighting a Garchomp, right? If they're like, well, I'm going to stay in and fight you, well, you Mega Evolve, Intimidate them, and they're dead. But you're just going to Hidden Power, and even if your Hidden Power didn't kill, like they were sashed or something weird, you'll live the Earthquake, and they're dead. You'll barely live it, but they're dead. If they decide to switch, whatever they switch into, let's say like a Snorlax to wall you out, is whatever they switch into, you Mega Evolve then on the switch, and they still eat the Intimidate, which means you can safely Volt Switch out, and that thing's pretty much useless. So that's why I really think it's a great Pokemon. It's actually even way better in doubles and singles. Because Intimidate, obviously one of the best abilities in doubles, and it gets access to that. It's actually, I'm using it in my team as the main Intimidator for my VGC team this season. What do you guys think about it?
I think it's comparable to like Jolteon's role in a lot of teams, isn't it?
Yeah,
with
like
the boosted fire.
It's a new, faster, stronger, more offensive, better Jolteon. It's just everything Jolteon wants to be.
I feel like
it doesn't get Heal Bell.
It fulfills the same kind of role as your Mega Absol, except it's bulkier. Would you say that's
Well, it's not just
accurate?
about the bulk. Like, Mega Absol can't hit and run. If you watch the videos of the replays from the tournament, all I would do was I used Scizor and Mega Manectric, and I had like a really, really good Volt Turn team. And Volt Turn's a thing that was pretty good back at the start of Gen 5, and you don't really see it that much anymore. But that's for singles.
And what would be different for doubles with the set for Mega Manectric?
Well, you wouldn't really want Volt Switch. You can still use it, but I would personally, if I'm going to switch with Mega Manectric, I'm just going to switch, because I don't want to Volt Switch, have my opponent protect, and then something else kill me. That would be really bad. So you'd want Thunderbolt over Volt Switch. You're still going to have the HP Ice, You can use the overheat, but I personally, like, we were talking about it a couple of days ago, overheat misses so much. If you have the access to flamethrower, I would really recommend using flamethrower. You're going to kill something that you're going to kill anyways. Like, if you're going to flamethrow a Ferrothorn, it's going to die whether or not you used overheat or flamethrower. And that's really the only thing, like, Ferrothorn and Scizor are the only things you really want flamethrower for. And maybe Klefki. I'm just saying you don't need overheat. And the last move is obviously protect because it is doubles.
What about discharge?
Discharge is very good, but you need to pair it with something that works with it. Like a very standard doubles lead is like a Rotom and a Garchomp, because Garchomp can use Earthquake and the Rotom can use Discharge, and they both don't hit each other, but they both hit the opponents. If I were to lead it like that, Mega Manectric would use Discharge, Garchomp would Earthquake and kill it. And it'd be even funnier because you know how you don't get your speed boost until the turn after you Mega Evolve. Garchomp would actually just Earthquake and kill the Manectric before it even got a chance to attack. So you can discharge, but you'd have to pair it with something that is a ground type that's not using Earthquake, which is uncommon, to say the least.
Right.
And he also has a really good just basic ability in Lightning Rod, or Static, whichever one you really choose to do. Lightning Rod means you can switch in and pretty much protect your teammates. Static means if you know you're going to get fake outed by a Mega Kangaskhan, don't Mega Evolve that turn and potentially static it, then Mega Evolve and go from there. That's always a possibility. I personally like Lightning Rod better.
And you were telling us about how Mega Manectric counters the counters of Kangaskhan?
Alright, well, what, did I say that?
I think
counters
you did.
The counters. Yeah, so Kangaskhan is countered. Yeah, you're right. Kangaskhan is, probably, in the North American scene at least, Kangaskhan is the best Mega. It's the most commonly used one. I think it's the best. And Kangaskhan is countered by things like Garchomp and Ferrothorn. You know, they get Rough Skin and Iron Barbs, and then usually people can put a Rocky Helmet on. And those things both have 4 times weaknesses to Manectric, and they're both slower than Manectric. So Manectric can just come in, either Flamethrower or Hidden Power Ice, get rid of both those things. So what you want to do is, in my team, I use Kangaskhan and Manectric. So people look at my team preview and think, well, he's going to bring Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan is just better. I'll bring the Ferrothorn or the Garchomp to counter it. And then I don't bring Kangaskhan at all. I bring Mega Manectric instead, kill them, and then they're pretty much running around with 3 Pokemon, and I still have 4.
So basically, Mega Manectric X is a good bodyguard for Kangaskhan.
And the Kangaskhan acts as bait for their team preview.
It's a bait and switch, yeah. It's just a bait and switch. I think at this regional, I'm probably going to only use Mega Manectric like twice. Because while it is really good, it's not as good as Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan is just too good.
Okay.
Uber. Oh, we can also talk about the other, like, really good Megas in the metagame. Like, there is, you know, Kangaskhan, obviously.
Yep.
Mawile, Charizard, Gengar, and Venusaur. Those are the most commonly used Megas we're going to see at this one. We might even see a couple Mega Agrons, but I really don't think we're going to see that this early in the season. I think during the end of the season, that's going to be a very good Pokemon. We might even see some Mega Amphiroses, and that's just kind of weird, but
what about a Charizard Y?
What was that?
I said, what about a Charizard Y? I saw a lot of those
That's
at
what
the...
Yeah, that's the one you would see for the VGC.
That was one of the ones I was talking about.
Oh.
Houndoom Green Soul 12 is actually not a really good one. It's actually, like, really not that good at all. He relies on either Ninetales to get... just Ninetales, actually, because you're using your Mega. And then it's just easily... Like, Houndoom and Ninetales can both get Earthquaked by Garchomp. They're both slower, and, like, a Ninetales Hidden Power Ice won't kill a Garchomp. That's just my personal opinion. Let's get back to the Megas that are really good. Kangaskhan,
Yep.
Charizard, Venusaur, Gengar. Right? Isn't that the 4?
And Mawile, maybe.
There's one
You
more
said
really good one,
Mawile.
right?
Mawile?
Mawile, yeah. So 3 of those are actually countered by Manectric. Kangaskhan, Mawile, and Charizard. Charizard gets Thunderbolted. Kangaskhan gets intimidated, and you're going to switch the Manectric out and switch it back in and do the same thing again, and then he's just useless. And, wow, I'm just not having it today.
Venusaur.
Mawile. No, you don't really
Mawile.
counter the Venusaur. It's like an even matchup. Because if he Mega Evolves, your Ice and Fire attacks aren't going to do anything.
That's true.
But yeah, so Gengar isn't really a bad match for you either. It's pretty much the same matchup. I think you have the same base speed. I think they're both 405s. No, wait, Manectric's faster. Gengar only gets up to 394. So I guess you would still have the advantage against Gengar. It's not really a counter. And against Venusaur, if you don't get put to sleep, you're okay. So I really think that Mega Manectric is going to be a great counter to all of the popular Megas that are going to be used this gen. At least in this first infant stage of VGC 2014.
Right. Before they release all the Pokebank Pokemon.
Well, VGC 2014 isn't going to have those.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just saying by the end of the season, by the time Worlds comes around, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of different Megas. Things like Ampharos and Aggron are going to be really big in Trick Room. So the meta's going to change a lot, and a lot of the things that are good now are going to fall off. Mega Mawil's probably still going to be good, but I think Charizard and Venusaur are probably going to drop off in favor of things like Ampharos and Aggron later in the meta.
Okay, interesting prediction. We'll see how that turns out.
Yeah.
Did you want to do a giveaway for a Mega Manectric baby thing?
Do you want to do that
electric?
before we show battles, or?
We could do it while we're showing the battles, actually.
Yeah, do we want to show a battle right now of Mega Manectric? And then I'll do a giveaway.
Yeah,
so type something in the chat, any words that you type into the chat, you'll be entered into the little dice roll thing.
I'm going to set the camera.
Alright.
Alright, setting up this camera.
Bring this down.
Oh, it's so inverted. Oh, man. You wouldn't believe how, like, awkward this is.
You're doing fine. It looks great.
So, once again, if you want to be entered in to win an Electrike, 5 IV Electrike, yeah, that should be fine.
Cool.
Type something in the chat. Anybody who's watching who wants to be entered in to win.
Alright, so just tell me whenever you want me to play it.
Go ahead.
This battle, let's talk about the team at the start. So we're actually going to be seeing my team is Rotom Fire, Manectric, Garchomp, and Vivillon. This is a team I'm testing for VGC 2014, fighting against whatever that guy's name is. It's actually an Aegislash, Kangaskhan, Klefki, and Salamence. We have to expect the Salamence to be a special attacker. Aegislash is a very niche pick. I really only think it's good with a Focus Sash. That's just my opinion, and I still don't really think it's good, but let's just get into it. This guy, I think, had 1,700 rating, so he knew what he was doing at least. Alright, Starto. Now, I really think that Rotom Fire is a great Pokemon to use, but that's just my, like, warped opinion. It counters things that I need to counter, like Mawile, because Manectric's not always going to be hanging out. So we see Salamence, and Klefki is the lead. Salamence is obviously going to pop the Intimidate. It's going to intimidate both my things, but I knew that he was going to bring Salamence, so that's why I led with my 2 special attackers. So I'm going to go Mega right off the bat. And I don't remember, there's one game where Mega Manectric out of these 2 replays just like dies. Super easy. Might be this one, might be the next one.
To like an Earthquake from a Salamence?
Yeah. So I'm going to get an Intimidate back on them, potentially hitting the Salamence, but not, like, we have to assume it's a special attacker. Alright. So he goes for the Swagger with the Klefki. Very standard play from Klefki. And, of course, you know, like, you're going to hit Confusion 1,000% of the time. Like, I got to play around the Confusion. He expected my hidden power, and he protected. I'm glad to see that he's actually not Choice Scarf, because I don't want to get Draco'd. He's going to go into Kangaskhan, and he's going to pop a Swagger on my Manectric. Now, he has both my things swaggered, and there's not really, like... Of course I'm going to hit myself Confusion, you'd think. So, this was the game I was telling you guys about. I used my Overheat. This was the game where I said, I played at Mages, where I said, I hit my first Overheat in 3 days.
Yeah.
And even through
that's a crit.
Through the Confusion, huh?
This is actually my, through the Confusion. This is actually my Choice Scarf Rotom. And then I actually don't get confused there, and I get the Thunderbolt in on the Kangaskhan. And he's going to send out his Aegislash. So since I'm confused on both my Pokemon, I'm just going to switch out. Go into my Garchomp here, and go into my Vivillon. I was expecting him to hit my what was my Rotom with his Kangaskhan. And this is one of the only situations where I really wish I had Rough Skin. I actually really like Sandvale on Garchomp, but he's like fake outing me.
Yep, and
so
he
I wished I had it.
He takes a lot of damage for fake outing a Garchomp with Rough Skin.
Yeah, it's okay. Now this is a banded Garchomp. I'm not scarfed. I'm nothing special. Like, all these guys are just picking on my Garchomp. They were trying to nuke my Rotom. And yeah, so you can technically assume that I'm useless. This is going to be the start of the next turn. He pops Protect, expecting me to attack him. And he goes for a Shadow Sneak to finish off my Garchomp. That was pretty smart, because if I was scarfed... No, I don't know why he did that. Maybe he was just, like, scared of something that couldn't have happened. Anyways, I'm going to get a Sleep Powder off the Aegislash, which is very beneficial to me. And Manectric's going to come out and get a double Intimidate, and that's freaking huge here. Like, this late in the game, a double Intimidate, he only has one more Pokemon left, and it's a Salamence. And he has a Sleeping Aegislash, so Manectric is, like, definitely paying for itself here. I'm going to pop a Protect with my Vivillon, because I don't want to get two-shotted from return, which I know Kangaskhan is faster than me. And just go for the Thunderbolt here, because Aegislash he'll be asleep for a couple turns. It's okay. Alright, so I really don't want to have my Vivillon die to this Kangaskhan again. And I really think the Aegislash is going to wake up either this turn or the next turn, so I decided to tag Aegislash this turn with a Flamethrower, and since he's still in attack mode, he's going to die. And he wasn't sashed. And I knew that his Kangaskhan was going to attack my Rotom, and I was pretty sure my Rotom could live because of the Intimidate. Like I said earlier, this is a Choice Scarf Rotom, so without the Intimidate, I would have died.
Yeah.
So these are his last two. He's going to get another useless Intimidate off, even though I just have, like, Vivillon left. But useless Intimidate it is. He's going to go for the Sucker Punch, targeting my Mega Manectric, because it's definitely the thing that's...
The threat.
The threat, yeah. Rotom's going to go for the Thunderbolt and the Kangaskhan. It's going to finish it off, and I think that Manectric's going to HP Ice the Salamence. And this is pretty weird. You don't really see many of these that often, but it's actually a Focus Sash Salamence.
Whoa.
So, yeah, isn't that like, ugh. And he's going to go for the Fire Blast, and this is really showing Mega Manectric's bulk, because it actually doesn't die.
Yeah.
And he just, like, DC'd right there.
Wow.
So, that was one game I have to show Mega Manectric. I think that was how you really would use it in doubles. You want to get as many Intimidates off as possible while having great offensive coverage. What did you guys think about it?
That was actually a pretty good showcase of Mega Manectric. That Intimidate at the end there was huge.
And indeed.
It was huge, yeah. It saved my Rotom and pretty much neutered the Kangaskhan.
Right, because that Sucker Punch would have done a lot more damage without it.
Yeah. How about I show one of singles? Because this battle right here, Mega Manectric gets killed by a Choice Scarf Crit Draco Meteor.
Okay, let's try
first turn of the game.
Let's try a single battle with Mega Manectric.
How about I show the one against T?
Alright.
You know, the one where we were talking about that for mages?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, battle starting. Does the stream seem laggy to you guys? Are you guys, like, having the stream minimized?
I'm not looking directly at the...
Like looking at it.
I know there's a 40-second delay.
See the vid.
There's a 40-second delay between what we broadcast out and what you see on Twitch.
Okay, so let's just talk about this. We see I heal with Rotomel with the Azumarill, and I did not want to eat a Thunder Attack. I switched to my Manectric, hoping to get a Lightning Rod proc. I Mega Evolve, expecting him to, like, I don't know, like, leave. And, yeah, I get my useless Intimidate off.
You did dodge the Will-O-Wisp,
I just wanted to... Yeah, I did dodge the Will-O-Wisp, and I go for the Volt Switch, and it shows that I'm faster. And so earlier in the tournament, he was actually using a Choice Specs against Jellysound. So I knew that that was definitely a possibility. I decided to go back into my Azumarill again, and I see the Will-O-Wisp again. The reason why I went back into Azumarill was because I have a Lumberry. And I was just testing. And now that I know that he has the Choice Specs Will-O-Wisp, which I think was a very weird option in the first place, you think he just would have went for the Choice Specs Thunderbolt. But I had the Manectric in the team, so I guess I can see why he did it. I get to go to my Typhlosion. And this is a Pokemon Pokemon. I'm sure you guys have seen Typhlosion before. This isn't really showcasing Typhlosion. This is mostly just going to showcase Manectric, but have a little bit of Typhlosion show. He's going to switch into Sableye, expecting himself to live through this Choice Specs Eruption, but nothing lives through Choice Specs Eruption. He's going to go down.
That Sableye did not have a good time.
It didn't. So he's going to go into Talonflame here. If he pretty much hits me for any damage at all, even 1 HP, my eruptions are going to be a lot weaker. So I decided to switch out, go into Manectric, because I protect the Brave Bird and get an Intimidate off. So that's like one really good switch so far. He Brave Birds like I expected. It's gonna. I love the animation for a Brave Bird. It's so
very
sick
nice.
looking. And it does like 20 HP, that's nothing.
Yeah, through
and
an
now
Intimidate.
he's forced to switch, and I can get a free Volt switch. Sorry, go ahead, Jonathan.
Well, just the Intimidate really cuts down his attack because I don't know what item it was holding. If it was Choice Banded, it wasn't a Life Orb, which is usually the item I see.
Yeah, it was probably a Choice Band. Alright, so Rotom's gonna die to, like, Volt Switch and stuff. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
And I get to go send out my Vivillon. So like I said, it's a Volt Turn team, but I like to sometimes send out Vivillon so I can always get the Sleep Powder off. And this was also just to bait the Talonflame back out. Like, if you wanted to go for that, I could just do the same thing again.
Right.
He's going to send out the Talonflame, get another Intimidate off, and it doesn't matter if he uses Flare Blitz now, which he does, because he's intimidated. Alright, yeah, see how much, like, nothing that did? And we can assume that he's Choice Band. That's why I decided to stay in here. And he eats the Volt Switch. He's going to go down from that. And now, there's no checks to my Vivillon or my Scizor. And I still have my Manectric out. Alright, so I decided to go with the Azumarill here. He goes with Gengar. This is one of the only misplays I made this game. I really expected my Azumarill to be able to live this Sludge Bomb. And he could have potentially also had Thunderbolt too, and I knew I would have lived Thunderbolt because he doesn't stab it, but I really thought I would live the Sludge Bomb. That's my misplay. It's a definite risk I took because I thought I was ahead. I decided to go back into Manectric because I know he's not Scarfed. I get another useless Intimidate off, and I gotta just go for a Volt Switch, potentially breaking his Sash. I just don't know what item he has, but I know it's not a Scarf. Alright, so I Volt Switch out, go into Scizor expecting the Sludge Bomb again. He calls me going into Scizor. It's a great call from him, and he pops a Shadow Ball. But you can see where the game's going. I can just pretty much send my Manectric out as many times as I want and Volt Switch against all his Mons. So he's going to die to Bullet Punch. And I think he has like 2 or 3 things left. He's going to send out Lucario. Now, Lucario, this is where his Mega is. And he's going to pop it right here. I don't remember what I do. No, yeah, I do. I just die in a fire. I died to this Lucario. I tried to just U-turn out because I didn't want to get set up on. I didn't want to like Bullet Punch when he went for like a Swords Dance, and then he get like 2 Swords Dance off. That would have really sucked. So he close combats me, dropping his defense and Special D, which is very significant because now I can pretty much just come in with Manectric again, lower his attack stat again. Well, not again. Lower like the 3rd Pokemon's attack stat and hit a Flamethrower. Now most Lucarios carry Bullet Punch over Extreme Speed, but I still think that even because of the Intimidate, I would have lived. Because, like, Extreme Speed just not stabbed. So Garchomp comes in, it's his last one, and he eats the Hidden Power Fire. I think this is the last one.
Hidden Power Ice.
One shot in the Garchomp. So, that's pretty much the, yeah, that's the game. That's how you would use Manectric in singles.
It's very versatile.
Those are great examples of Mega Manectric. Those are perfect. Yeah. Perfect games.
Yep.
Right.
I think it's a really good Pokemon. It's a counter to a lot of the commonly used Pokemon in the meta. But like I said, it's a Pokemon that's going to drop off as the meta gets more advanced.
Right.
Because it can't really kill things unless it has a super effective chance to hit them. And there's not that... like I said, it can trade like well, but it can only trade well like once. So while it is a very good Mega, you guys can read a lot more about it in the write-up I did at Maximum Impulse at the site.
There you go. And did we already post a link to Maximum Impulse?
Yeah, there is a link to Maximum Impulse on Jonathan's site. If you guys forgot the link too.
Let's post it again.
I'll post the link again
in the chat.
Yeah, so you guys definitely should all be really happy to make these. I would love to see everyone using Mega Manectrics at the VGC. It would make me so happy.
So only 2 people?
I have other...
Well, for the raffle, first, iShine came out as the winner, and you're not allowed to win, so, that's not, and now Broducer has come out as, I rerolled.
Oh, that's fine.
You have one!
Let's just do the raffle. Let's just do the raffle a little bit later then.
Or we could give it to the only guy who
Green Soul 12.
This is a battle that...
Yeah, give it to him if he wants it.
If there's a battle that I played, if you guys can see it on my little screen, that I played against Alex Gross. And in this battle, I used Mega Manetric, and he used Mega Manetric. We both used it for both our Megas, and I thought that was kind of cool. We have a very similar team. Manetric, Garchomp, and Talonflame are in all of our teams. We don't have to watch it. I was just saying how that's kind of funny. I think we've shown this battle, or you guys have seen this one before. His Mega Manetric dies to something stupid.
Well, you could play it, or we could. We're still working on this giveaway right now, so if you want to play it.
Okay, I guess well, let's just see what else I have to play, and then I can go back and play that.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'll just play it. The Mega Manetric mirror matchup.
Sure.
Alright. You guys can't see the screen very well, can you?
Not anymore.
You need to move it back the other way.
I moved it the wrong way.
Yep.
Huh.
There we go.
Perfect.
That's perfect. Well.
Alright, so what happened first turn?
Manectric Garchomp is the lead off. Are you going to go ahead and Mega Evolve?
I Mega Evolve, and I get the amazing Intimidate off, right?
So it's
By the way, this Manetric was given to me by Sean Liu.
Shout out to Sean Liu. So even though it's the Garchomp would think it's a bad matchup for the Manectric, but with the Hidden Power Ice on there, he's severely disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was like, when I was playing him, he's like, oh man, I hope it doesn't have HP Ice. Yeah, you're right. Wait, you guys haven't seen this battle. This was a battle from the very first round of the tournament.
Yeah, you weren't allowed to stream this for some reason.
Well, other people were playing.
Ah.
You were fighting, so you were fighting T on streams, I think, weren't you?
Probably.
Yeah. So I got toxic. Really, that's fine. I really wanted to just get sleep powdered, but he didn't want to go for it. So I'm just gonna volt switch out. I pretty much did all that I should have been able to do. You know, I hit the Garchomp, which was
that's huge.
Like, that was it. That's huge. All right.
Such a good
So I go to my Talonflame. Now I really don't like Talonflame, but it was the Pokemon of the week, so I thought I have to use it in like one round. What I like to do with this team is Mega Manetric can Volt Switch, and I have a Garchomp, the Choice Scarf Garchomp for cleanup. I have Talonflame for priority. Azumarill, no, Azumarill's not in this team. It might be. I have like 3 things with priority. You see, he swaps in and gets taunted. And you see I have to switch out. I don't even think I have U-turn on that guy, but he might be Choice Banded.
Right.
We can't know for sure. He decides to stay in. That's completely fair. And now he's gonna withdraw his Slowbro. I probably could have done a better job casting this. He's gonna withdraw Slowbro, going for the Talonflame.
Yep.
And I call him switching to go into Talonflame and just go for the U-turn. And worst case scenario, if he just stayed in, I was faster than he was, and I could have just hit a U-turn anyways. So now we're gonna do the same thing we did against T, and I think go back into my Manetric.
Get that Intimidate off.
Manetric. What was that?
Get that Intimidate off.
Yep, the big Intimidate. Alright, so he's gonna go for the Brave Bird, pretty much just foddering his Talonflame. Because we know it's not gonna do that much.
Yep.
And that damage makes me think that he's banded, because it did a little bit more than T's.
Which means what was
T's
open?
Switch, which means I'm not gonna take toxic damage. Hit and run successful. I think this is, if I use Vivillon, this is where I would send it out. Yep. There's a Vivillon. So like I said, I always like to send out the Vivillon after all the really fast things are gone. I did the same, this is pretty much almost identical to the game I played against T, wouldn't you say?
Almost. But here you can't sleep out of the Venusaur, so you go for the Hurricane, which is extremely effective.
Can't sleep out of it.
I know. That's.
So he's gonna send out his Manetric now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
This thing's so versatile, how are you gonna find it?
Alright, so he gets a useless Intimidate off, and he goes for the Flamethrower, not the Volt Switch, not anything else. He goes for the Flamethrower, and I'm Sash, so it's awesome. And I go for the Sleep Powder, and now his Manetric's pretty much just chilling.
Well, that's the one way to counter Manectric, I suppose.
Yeah.
Make you go to bed.
Focus Sash, no problem. I think he should use Volt Switch, but I don't know why he didn't. He probably thought I would switch into my Manectric, you know? And he wanted to get the maximum damage with Flamethrower.
Yeah.
People think Vivillon's not a good Pokemon, but I really think it's good in singles and doubles. I think it's a really, really good Pokemon.
Well, how fast is
Because, I mean,
Vivillon?
it just traded with this Mega. It's 306 speed at max.
So perhaps
So he's going to go for the Fake Out. Go ahead.
Pokemon of the Week candidate?
Huh.
Anything with a compound ice
I
sleep
see
powder.
that. I have way too much like Vivillon hype to go on about. We see that his Scrafty has Moxie, which is really cool, but like not really that good. So yeah, I did have Azumarill. So I have 3 priority users: Talonflame, Scizor, and Azumarill, with Vivillon, a Choice Scarf Garchomp, and a Mega Manectric. Super offensive team. Like, everyone in the tournament just runs all walls, and like I wasn't having it. I'm just gonna kill all the walls. Break the walls down.
This team sure can do it.
So player really to make short work of the Scrafty.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna play rough, hoping to like do some damage before he kills me. It's not like Slowbro can like really set up, and it sucks I missed one.
Yeah.
But whatever.
A 90 accuracy.
Yeah, 90 accuracy, misses every game.
At least one
Like
time.
once. Yeah. So he's gonna kill me with Psychic after like 1,000 Psychics. He's just delaying the inevitable, though, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. There's no way.
I think Alex did a really good job. I missed with another one. He did a really good job with his team coming out of his shell. He was telling me that he makes a lot of Pokemon, and these tournaments are the only times he can test them. I really think it's a good thing that he's not playing all walls, because you can only be so good playing all like a wall team. And I think him coming out of his shell, using like a Moxie, Scrafty, something like that, I think that's very good. It means that he's getting a lot better.
Well, cool.
He's definitely had a lot of improvements since we started.
So it just goes to show that everyone in the chat watching the stream now should show up to our local, get better. Can't show up to our local, show up to a local. Local near you.
So that was Battle I played against Alex in the first round of the tournament. Do you guys want to see any more?
I think
battles? I think that was.
We're about to wrap on the Pokemon.
Do you want to go with a haiku?
Yeah, let's wrap it up with the haiku I wrote for Mega Manectric.
You can go ahead and flip your camera back around if you'd like. I shine.
Okay, it'll take a minute.
Alright, here's the haiku that I hastily wrote for Mega Manectric. Mega Manectric. Free-flowing current of doom. Harness the lightning. There you go. Enjoy.
What was it again?
I can repeat. Mega Manectric.
Yeah, I didn't hear it.
Free-flowing current of doom. Harness the lightning. Alright.
If you could have had, like, Ride the Lightning as the last one, that would have been
Unfortunate,
too good.
I thought about that. But it doesn't work. I tried so many different ways to get that to work.
Right.
Didn't work.
Right. We can change the way haikus work just to include Ride the Lightning.
Alright. So the next thing we wanted to talk about was, and we'll give away another Electrike toward the end of the broadcast as well. Thank you. It was ladder innovations that you wanted to talk about a little bit.
Because of Pokebank.
Yeah, so Pokebank came out for like a few hours in Japan and Korea, which means they all get all their nice, shiny new Ubers. They get all their Heatrans, their Landorus's, their Genesects, and Cresselia. And those things are just way too strong to deal with what we're used to fighting right now. Like all the teams that people have been using for singles and doubles, and just the regular singles and doubles, like ladders, are getting blown out of the water by all these Pokebank stuff. Like I think I can cope with it fine, but I've had to make some adjustments. I've had to get innovative. Like, alright, so I can't use Landorus, but I have to kill Heatran. So
right, last week you talked
finding
about
your Pokemon that have hidden power ground to kill Heatrans. You shouldn't have to do that. You could just use Landorus. You know, there's a bunch of other things that are. Let's see. What can kill Cresselia? What can kill it? You guys got any ideas?
Scrafty.
Scrafty can kill Cresselia, I guess. It's not the best matchup. In doubles, it's not a good one because you can just get. Well, Cresselia gets Moonblast. Scrafty can't kill it anymore.
Okay.
So there's that. But in singles too, if Scrafty can't kill Cresselia, it's a bad matchup. You're dead. But like Genesect can kill Cresselia, and if you don't have one,
yeah, use Scizor.
That sucks. Scizor can, but Scizor dies to a lot of things that Genesect doesn't die to. They may have the same weaknesses, but the way they're set up is a lot different. A lot of things that use fire type attacks are a lot slower than Genesect is, and Genesect can just kill them with all of its amazing Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Fire Blast, U-turn, Bug Buzz crap. So what I'm saying is, everyone on ladder that's playing from America is playing from behind, pretty much. Because every time I go into a battle, it's just fighting like a whole new tier. Like, my opponent has Cresselia Heatran, and I have Vivillon. Tell me what's fair about that.
Well, someone in the chat recommended you could just use Yveltal to counter Cresselia.
I don't know if you
Yveltal
can.
is not legal.
Uber versus Uber, man. Sounds legal to me.
You could if it was free battle, but I don't even know. Even though Yveltal can kill it with like dark attacks, I think Cresselia could have. I think it could win if Cresselia popped a white screen, and Toxic, and just covered it out. Yveltal can't kill it.
Definitely think there's a chance that Cresselia could win that matchup. But yeah, so you have to until a Pokebank comes out for us, then we can actually get our Uber counters to these Ubers. It's tough.
Yeah, Hidden Power Ground. Shouldn't have to ever do that.
How effective is it though? Does it work?
It doesn't even kill it. Hidden Power Ground lets you get the Heatran to like 20%, so something else can like kill the Heatran.
So you have to sacrifice two things to kill the Heatran right now.
Yep.
Okay.
And the Heatran was smart. He would just switch.
Right.
After you Hidden Power Grounded him. But, well, I think we'll be okay.
I sure hope so. Was that all you wanted to talk about as far as the current ladder stuff? Or?
Yeah, it's just me complaining about it.
Okay, well, congratulations. Your grievances have been aired.
Yep.
Next, let's talk about our local a little bit. What went down? We talked about it a little bit. You showed one of the battles, but what went down?
A couple of them, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we've showed at least one or two ambiently, but you also showed the battle against Alex and the battle against T. We're both from our local Friday night tournament at Mages Realm, Sacramento.
I also played that guy that ran Pinsir. We saw 2 Pinsers at the tournament.
That's
2
true.
Mega Pinsers. That's pretty weird.
Yeah, we got a chance to talk about it a little bit, but Pinsir's ability is...
It just so happens that the Pinsers had to fight the guy that was running Mega Man Trick, which isn't its best matchup.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Considering it becomes flying.
Yeah. Well, it didn't even matter. I just flamethrower it.
Well, true enough.
But now you could also T-Bolt or Volt Switch it if you wish.
You have a couple options.
Or Hidden Power it.
It only gives you additional options to kill it.
Its defense is high, but its special defense is kind of lacking.
Yeah. Pinsir's really cool. I'm sure we'll see more of it. I was very surprised to see 2. Because technically, like, Alex Gross was using Mega Man Trick too, so this was like the tournament of Mega Man Trick. I wonder how these people, like, know my strats before I do it.
You do stream.
Maybe they watch our streams and the videos?
I wasn't using it on stream, though.
Well, you weren't using it, but we've talked about Mega Man Electric on this broadcast before.
And
it's true.
I don't know.
So who ended up winning the local then?
Oh, I won the local.
Okay.
What happened was I used Mega Man Trick all the way up until the top 4, and then once top 4 happened, we can switch our teams around, so I put Typhlosion in my team, and I killed everything. I fought Boatman in the finals, and he used a pretty weird Excadrill that, like, destroyed. He's the only person to kill Manectric the whole tournament, I think.
With Moldbreaker Excadrill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just flamethrowed it so I could break the balloon. Because I thought he would switch after. If you have an Excadrill out, and you kill the Manectric, and someone sends out a Typhlosion, you're gonna switch, right?
Absolutely.
You should.
He didn't. He just kind of just stayed in. And I was like, all right, whatever, you know.
He's too confident.
It was cool with me.
win some, you lose some, I guess. Maybe he thought he could survive.
He died in a fire.
Well, happens.
He died in a fire. It was definitely a good tournament for me.
He died in a fire is 5 syllables.
I had fun.
Well,
you guys didn't do so hot.
No, not so
much. I had gone in thinking that we were gonna stick to VGC rules, but we switched it back to singles.
Yeah, everyone had their VGC teams prepared.
And so
then,
some of my Pokemon are the same, and they have different movesets. So I didn't have a lot of time to switch it back up, and that made my performance poor.
I know it took quite a few heart scales.
Yeah. My problem with the local was that I hadn't been there in a couple weeks, and I didn't tune into this broadcast as much as I should have, and everyone's strategy changed since the last time I was there. It went from being like pretty standard play to everyone bringing 6 wall teams, and my team wasn't set up to break all of those.
You did, you fought Kai.
I did fight Kai. That's the battle that's playing right now with his 6 wall team. So this is after the tournament. I finally figured out how to do it. But during the tournament, it
Sword
was
Stance is pretty good.
Incredibly difficult.
Yeah. It's the same way I beat Kai. You use Aegis Slash, I use Scizor.
Mm-hmm.
Just dance all day and
Yep.
Not get toxic.
Queen your way to victory.
Eventually you'll crit. I mean,
yeah, I'm done with people thinking that like you can just bring 6 walls and get away with it.
Yeah. I agree. They
it
need
looks
to
like
be
Key and
stopped.
Alex are starting to figure it out. Because
Yeah.
our teams were all a lot different.
Right. They mixed it up a little bit.
Yep.
And what was it? This week should be VGC. They all agreed to it.
Yeah.
Okay. So hopefully we'll have
that'll,
some.
that'll be our last prep before the real VGC.
We'll be able to talk about both the VGC local and the VGC Longbeach in the next Goldenrod podcast.
Yep.
I personally just wish that every one of our locals were VGC. The battles take less time. It's more skill based. You can't bring 6 walls.
You can bring 4.
Yeah, and then you lose.
Yeah.
Kai wouldn't kill a single Pokemon if he played VGC because he'd try to Toxic Stall all of them and use Stealth Rocks.
Well, it could work once. Get that one Stealth Rocks hit in.
Alright. So what else did you have to talk about?
Well, I think that pretty much covers the list.
We wanted to go over our plans for Long Beach.
Yeah, we could go in. We talked about it a little bit, but what are we going to be doing or have prepared for VGC Long Beach as far as the site's concerned?
We are bringing about 8 or 9 people down to Long Beach, and so I think we could try to do some kind of like documentary about our like trip, you know? Because I'm pretty sure we'll have like a camera, and we'll just be able to have fun, you know? Everyone would. We're gonna put it up on the site, I'm sure, and
we could try getting some interviews with the top players for Maximum
What was
Impulse. We can go get some interviews with the top players for Maximum Impulse. Some Q&As maybe.
As well as the top players from other like. I'm pretty sure we'll see a lot of top other like level players too. I'm sure Asta Charmander will be there. Australia's will be there. Just other players.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying was that whoever comes out on top, like the top 8, we might be able to get interviews with them, talk about how they prepped for it, how they felt VGC went, and that'll be a good good way to go over VGC. So we'll be back again.
Yeah, so despite not being able to save our battle videos, we should have plenty of content coming forward.
Oh yeah, we'll eventually be able to like pool all our notes together and stuff and actually really see what was going on.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure in my notes, I'll be able to write down like EVs and movesets that I did. I don't know about you guys, I write down stuff like that I see. And I have no problem asking my opponents like, hey, how many EVs in speed were you? Because I have this many in mine. You know, because like Patrick, for his Rotom, what a lot of people do is they put like 20 EVs in their Rotom washes to be faster than the Rotoms, but Patrick puts like 28 to be faster than the people who are faster. And so like little things like that are just cool stuff to figure out.
Yeah. I've been thinking a lot about that stuff recently for like, certain Pokemon, like Mega Kangaskhan. How much speed do you want to put on that thing in order to outspeed the other Mega Kangaskhan?
I think I'm gonna bring a Kangaskhan that's full speed, full attack, but I was using one on ladder for about a month that was just full HP.
Yeah. And do you like the speed one better or the HP one better? As far as just personally, which one do you like better? Which one worked better, do you think?
I think the speed one worked better, but I liked the HP one more. The HP one, no one ever called you. No one's ever like, well, I'm good if he's like... No one ever tried to test your capabilities to have the full speed. That's what I liked about it. You pretty much got the full HP investment for free. It backfired a couple times just because you're slower than things you're supposed to be faster than, but it's the same boat as like settlements. I really don't like putting speed in either of them because there's so many things that... VGC is like this. There's the things that are super fast and there's the things that are super slow. The things that are in between don't need any speed IVs because they're just gonna be wasted on it. Like if I were to bring a Gardevoir, I'd probably go full speed and make it like Scarf or Specs. I wouldn't even Specs it if it was gonna be full speed. If something doesn't have higher than like base 110 speed, there's no reason to have it be fast.
Because you're not going to be faster than the fast things, and you're going to be faster than the slow things anyway without any speed investment.
That's pretty much it, because no one's going to put speed in things like Gyarados. Most Gyarados you see have 0 speed investment. That's just how they're built, because they don't need to be faster, because even with full speed investment, they're not faster than things like Salamence or Garchomp. That's why. Right.
Alright, I think that's everything.
I have to answer a question.
Go for it.
I'd answer a question.
It's Whimsicott.
Pharaoh MCPVP. I started with Fennekin because I wanted to be cool. All my other friends started with the other ones. I think the best one is Greninja, but you can just get or Froakie, but you can get a Greninja in the Friend Safari later. To beat the game, I think Fennekin's probably the best one. That's just me. What do you guys think? What do you guys think is the best starter for X and Y?
Man, you had to add X and Y in there because obviously Bulbasaur, but whatever.
He said in Y.
Yeah. I like Froakie.
I went with Chespin.
You like Froakie?
I think Froakie can do so much stuff.
We all got different ones.
Yeah. That you just.
But I think to beat the game, it's a lot easier to beat Fennekin.
I can't say because I've only played through with Froakie.
But the game, like all the gyms are weak against fire.
Yeah, but the same gyms are weak against Ice Beam too. Right?
You don't have Ice Beam.
Sure you do. Froakie gets Ice Beam. TM.
Froakie gets Ice Beam.
Yeah, you don't get that till the end of the game. The hard part of the game's already behind you.
Froakie because he's the coolest. End of story, says Sigurd.
Broducer.
Or Broducer. Pretty sure that's it then.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the
Why go easy?
Go Froakie or go home.
Real man steps up to the challenge.
Oh.
Fuck that, dude. Alright, anyone who's played a Pokemon game knows you're supposed to get the fire starter. That's just how it works.
I don't think so. I don't think that's how it works.
So as we're wrapping up, why don't we give away one more Electrike?
I'm gonna refresh the thing. If you want to win the raffle, or be entered in to win the raffle for the Pokemon of the week, type something into the chat. It can be anything that you type into the chat. Just put some words in, and then you'll be entered for the roll. He's freaking out 40 seconds in the past. It's very interesting to watch.
Yeah, what you can do is you can not get Fennekin, get Froakie, get the free Charmander, get the free Torchic, and then get Squirtle and have one of each type.
Yep.
You want to be one of those guys. But I hate Squirtle.
Or
I don't like Blastoise. Wartortle's amazing.
Wait. When you pick Froakie, you get Bulbasaur, right?
No.
Or do you pick both?
You get to pick one.
Okay. And at the end of the game, it's the one that's chosen for you, right? So if you picked...
Yeah.
You get, like, Fennekin at the end of the game. Those capital letters
Producer's not freaking out. He's just on cruise control for cool.
I guess
Damn.
so. So type in the chat if you want to Electrike, which evolves into our Pokemon of the day, Mega Manectric.
Let it be known, you can only get the Mega Stone for Mega Manectric and Pokemon X.
So you gotta convince somebody that they would rather have a Houndoomite and then trade them your Houndoomite for them Manectricite.
Or you can just buy X version. There's no other good reason to buy X version other than you get the Manectricite and the T-Tarite.
Why do you think I did
That's
it?
all you get. Huh?
I said, why do you think I did it?
Yeah. Man, we should just not stream when like the Justin Flynn's going.
That's what happens on Fridays. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and roll. And it's Ice J99. If Ice J99 is still here, he's a winner.
He doesn't look like he's here.
I'll give it a couple seconds.
Let's give him some time.
Oh, Steve-O's in the chat now.
Yeah, Steve-O just joined.
Let's give it to Steve-O.
We gotta raffle it off. It's the right thing to do.
Okay.
It's the right thing to do.
Although his
Oh, so, Seeger's just talking about switching the day. What I think we can do is, you know how we used to do it like 2 o'clock
Yep.
on Mondays? If we want to do this same type of setup, I actually have from 2 to 4 off. I can just kind of close the cafe and kind of hang out in there. So like, I could just do the Skype call from my work, because I have from 2 to 4 off.
We would need to do it on a Tuesday or Thursday if we're gonna do that.
Do what?
The broadcast.
Why can't it? Oh, that's fine with me too.
Because I'm not
Well,
gonna
I
be
can't do
free
it
in the middle of the day
tomorrow.
on Monday and Wednesdays. Well, we're not gonna do it tomorrow. That'll also give us another day.
After VGC to
Yeah.
recover and prep.
Because next Monday would be the day after the VGC. I'd like a little more time to work out the teams people were.
So it
people were
doesn't
doing.
look
All right,
like.
so Ice J99's not here. I'm gonna roll again. Big Bad Bob's 18. Are you here?
Man, I want Sivo to have it. Gotta wait like 40 seconds, don't we?
Yeah, there's a
For
little
him to
bit of
see
a
that.
little
Yeah.
bit of a stream delay, but we'll be giving it away
Yep.
soon.
All right. Was there any last things we wanted to discuss before we call it a night? Thank you everyone for joining us.
I'm probably gonna stream after this. If not, I was thinking I could help Jonathan with his VGC team if he wanted to stream that.
Maybe, but for Goldenrod Radio specifically is what I was talking about.
Oh no, I'm done with that. We're done.
All right. So, all right, Big Bad Bob's.
Oh, he's
He's
there.
there. And he's a winner.
Does Steve want to go to the VGC?
Yeah, Steve, do you want to go to VGC? It's in Long Beach. Unless you got like a job or something. That's his
Think
scoff.
Sparrow MVP is asking for my
Yep.
my Twitch.
Twitch.
I'll link it.
Twitch TV
Producer just
Oh,
did it.
/ iShine.
Oh man, Sigurd with the plays.
He's a good mod. I'm not regretting this at all.
Yeah,
All right.
Sigurd's he's a pretty good mod.
I'm gonna go ahead and sign us off. I'll give Big Bad Bob's number 18 his Electrike.
Before you sign off, I gotta say some stuff.
All right, go ahead. This is the perfect time.
There was stuff in the chat. Steve-O said, "Are you paying my way?" Steve-O, it's free to go. And Sigurd said, "You could take my spot. We have plenty of room in the cars." So those are both those questions I asked. All right. All right, cool. Think we figured out everything.
All right.
How
Well,
long was
Alright.
the call? Hour and a half.
We're doing an hour for the broadcast. We're perfect timing. So thank you all for joining us this week. Was there anything else that you wanted to say, Eyeshine?
What is that? What's a good ending thing? There's a killer song that has a cool name. It's like "Good Night, Travel Well." It's the name of a killer song.
That's the way the cookie crumbles. Stay classy, internet.
See you next time.
All great radio people have a killer sign-off. Anyway, we'll see you next time, next week, for Goldenrod Radio broadcast number 5. Until then, adios.
Bye-bye.